Hi everyone. Just a few housekeeping things. I did try The Sims. I really did try The Sims. And I don't know what is happening. Like, I've had it before and it was working. It was recording and they're like, okay, I'll go ahead and play. I played for like 30 minutes and then I decided to cut it just to see. It didn't record anything after that. So I don't know what is happening, but I looked at the preview on the screen and it said it was recording, so I don't know exactly what is happening. I just got done recording a video over on Mouse to Go. It was about regrouping and finding which one to do with your life, even if it's not the exact thing that you want to actually do. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to see it. That would be great. I just got off of work, even though it was my day off and I'm not in work uniform. They paid me gas money, they just didn't want to walk over to the bank. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go over to the store, get the money, go to the bank, and come back. It's only supposed to be 15 minutes, right? Okay, so we're working on this second register, which is going to be the iPad. It's going to be a handheld thing to get ready for the holidays, so that we can take orders in line instead of just having the one register and trying to keep up. We're going to do the orders in line, and then once they get to the register, all they have to do is pay because they already have their order done. And also we have the change machine going, which is one of those things that you give the money and it automatically dispenses the change, and then the cashier just gives you the dollar bills. So they were both doing that. My general manager and our district manager was actually both doing that today. And then the order came in, so I have the goodness of my heart. I stayed for 2 hours putting the order away and helping them with all that stuff because they were getting stressed. And so I'm at work I'm have the mental support. I get stressed, but I keep a level head most of the time. Stress to me is a motivator. So I can pretty easily just go with the flow, and I'm not I don't get too frazzled whenever really stressful situations come in. But I just kind of take a second, regroup, and then go. Once a month I just have a breakdown. I don't talk to really anyone for a couple of days, and then I go. And so I'm kind of the level-headed one there. I'm not the one that's really frazzled or anything like that, or completely about to break down at any given moment. So whenever there's a major situation or a major stressful situation, they having me there, or having me present or on the phone with them to kind of walk them through it. My manager does that all the time too if a really stressful situation occurs when I'm not there, or if something happens to her when I'm not there, then she's on the phone with me for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, just so that I can talk to her and calm her down throughout all of this. So I stayed there for about 2 hours. I got paid for gas money for going there anyway to go to the bank, but then they also had me clock in. So I got paid a little bit then. I was at work already, came back, recorded that video for Caitlin. Yeah, that was about it. But anyway, on the Sims video, I tried to kind of say what I kind of had planned for this channel, even though the Sims video, like I said, I don't know what's going on. I tried, but as of right now, I just can't get anything to work. I would love to, but I can't. But anyway, what I have planned for this thing is I have a few ideas actually. If any of you know Cuphead, it's kind of the new thing that's coming out with the gaming community. There was, Five Nights at Freddy's, Bendy and the Ink Machine, and Cuphead is now kind of in that little group because Cuphead and Bendy and the Ink Machine have really have the same animation style. So anyway, I am working on a parody actually. We'll see how that even goes. Working on a parody of The Devil Went Down to Georgia by Charlie Daniels for Cuphead actually. Yeah, it's that. Devil went down to Inkwell. He was looking for some solstice. He owned a vice with Mr. Dyson and was looking to make a deal when he came across two young boys on the craps table rolling the hot. The devil popped up into the crowd and said, "Boys, let me tell you what." And then that's kind of the little riff at the very beginning, if you know the song. Me and Angel Wings, I don't think I mentioned her on here before ever. Angel Wings, or Jessie is what I know her as. But she's another YouTuber. I'll link to her down in the description. She does Club Penguin. So if you're interested in that, I'm pretty sure she's a subscriber on here. I'm not for sure because we did like a little project before. It was something like completely like off the wall. But she did help with that, so she might still be subscribed. If you are, Jessie, just like kind of like shout yourself out down in the comments. But yeah, go see her. But me and her kind of have an idea. Don't know exactly how we would do this, but if any of you guys are fans of the show Ed, Edd n Eddy or know of the show Ed, Edd n Eddy, it was on during the late 90s or late 2000s. And the Ed, Edd n Eddy Big Picture Show was 2009. And so on The Sims video, I actually did the Sims Ed, Edd n Eddy. But if you haven't seen the show, it's about three boys with, their names are Ed, Edd n Eddy. There's Ed, Double D, and Eddie. All their names are Edward, so they kind of have to, like, do different nicknames for each of them. And they are, like, the three misfits of this cul-de-sac, filled with all these, kids. They kind of aren't included in the little group that, you know, the cul-de-sac kids do. And they're always sharing stuff, and, you know, jawbreakers, are kind of, like, their main goal. And, Kevin's dad owns a Jawbreaker factory or distribution, something like that, and so he always gives the kids, the other kids to them, and he's like kind of one of the main antagonists of the series, and never gives the Eds any, so Eddie is kind of like the ringleader of all of them, and he has like a slight Napoleon complex. It says in the very first episode that they cost a nickel, so the Jawbreakers cost a nickel, so they're always trying to get quarters in order to buy jawbreakers for all of them. So at the end of the Big Picture Show, I don't know, spoiler alert I guess, it's been like almost 8 years, so I don't know if it would really be considered a spoiler alert. But at the end of the Big Picture Show, they kind of realize why the Eds are the way they are. Mainly Eddie, who is just trying to be like his older brother, and then you find out that his older brother is a real jerk, and all that stuff. So they kind of have like their moment where they finally make it into the in crowd of the cul-de-sac. So me and Jessie were kind of talking about the idea of the Eds and the rest of the cul-de-sac kids, kind of bring them back, because the entire show is animated. It's a cartoon. Like, it breaks the fourth wall a bunch of times. And it's actually, the art style is, according to the creator, Danny Antonucci, it's told in the child's perspective, where you could just like pull things out of random thin air and just make something, and it's like there's not a whole lot of detail in it, and that's because like when you're a kid, you're not really worried about straight lines or coloring inside the lines or, you know, details about stuff. You're just worried about having fun. And so that's kind of what the, like, how the art style is. But we were thinking, as like the Eds got older, it would be like more real life, because if that's how they are when they're like 11, 12, and like kind of in that cartoony style where everything is bright and, you know, there's not a whole lot of detail, you just remember like stuff being fun. And then as you get older, like you kind of see reality as it actually is, and like actually having the Eds and the rest of the kids in the cul-de-sac in their early 20s. And so it would be a live action thing, because the Eds have entered the real world, like called Ed, Edd n Eddy, Welcome to the Real World, or something like that. I can picture Double D like trying to actually like make a Vlogbladers type like vlog all the time, and then Eddie and then Ed just like butting in and stuff, and them kind of having their own careers but also like being DJs. And like we kind of made the backgrounds for all the characters, and some of them are like really kind of far out there, but there's a reason for that, because we actually kind of made, we killed off a character, won't say who, but that's when all the other characters like kind of had their coming to Jesus moment, and realize, oh, we have to actually like kind of be mature, because the Big Picture Show, it addressed that in a way, but it didn't like solve it. And then this would kind of be like their come to Jesus moment. They had to like really like sit down and actually evaluate themselves and think about what they did prior to this and how they can change it in order to become more successful and more and contribute more to their little society. And the only way that we could really have that coming to Jesus moment is if like the specific character died, and then like it kind of like snowballed the effects of different characters. I also had a idea way long time ago about like all these people with like useless superpowers. There was one guy who could find spare change anywhere. He didn't have a job, but he could find spare change anywhere, so he like paid his rent in quarters and dimes and stuff like that. One guy who, like, no matter what he did, he couldn't, like, slip. So, like, he could walk on oil and not slip. Like, totally useless superpowers, but, like, they had to, think of ways, like, to actually do it. Kind of like Mystery Men, if you've ever seen it. One guy could change all traffic lights to green, but he can't change them to red, so they'll all be green at the same time, and he just gotta go. And then one guy that is OCD, but he can't mix anything, like... He is like on the floor, like in tears because he can't make cookies because he can't mix the flour and eggs together. And they're like kind of the protagonist, I guess. But the main antagonist is somebody who can control your mind, but can only control your mind when you're horny. And he runs a strip club. So I don't know exactly like how we would do that along with the edit and anything. I feel like those will both be really fun things to do. Oh yeah, the book theory for Harry Potter. If you go back, I had a analysis of Harry Potter, which I went to the, oh god, what did I go to? Prisoner of Azkaban or the Goblet of Fire or something like that. And then I just stopped. I do have a theory about it. And I love like game theory and film theory, so that would be a really cool thing to do, like at least once. Not to steal from MatPat, but just like kind of be like, hey, because in my Bible class, my professor posed a question that, you know, what if you took the if you took all the God and Jesus references at the end times, the book of Revelations in the Bible, how do you think it would fare? It's like, well, I think it would fare pretty well because it's Harry Potter. And so that's kind of my theory about Harry Potter, is that it's the story of Revelation is told without all the religious elements of it. And so I feel like that would be a fun thing to do. Other than that, because I can't figure out like how to get this stupid screen capture to work on OBS. So if I figure that out, I would love to do To the Moon. I really want to do To the Moon before Finding Paradise comes out, because I just love that game so much. And I've only seen Markiplier ever play it. So, I mean, and I saw him play it once, and I fell in love with it, and I am waiting for Game Theory to do it, because it has been recommended to them all the time, and they're like, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it really soon. But they have never done it. They played Duck Season. I'm still waiting for them to play To the Moon, because Finding Paradise is coming out soon, and they said to expect it around the time of the first release date for To the Moon, which was November 2nd. So that's coming up next month. But I just can't get the screen capture to work. So if you know either how to get OBS to work, or like a different screen capture that I can use that would actually work with, you know, what I'm trying to do, please let me know, because I really want to do this. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So if you like what you see, hit the button below me, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I'll see you all next Thursday. Okay, bye-bye. And that's Grayson back there. Hi, Grayson. That's Grayson. That one, right there. Yeah, he's a kitten. But, but anyway, so I was at work already. Bless you, Grayson. Anyway, so kind of like what I have, oh my god, thank you.